Hey folks, welcome to the official Hocus Poker TCG YouTube channel. And speaking of YouTube channels, couldn't help but notice that this YouTube channel recently went from 23 subscribers to 22. And this makes me very angry. I mean, how am I supposed to become a big, cool YouTube star if I'm losing subscribers? I'm supposed to have them. Oh, it makes me so mad. I want to burn something. So anyway, today we're going to talk about Wrathful cards. This is part of my series where I go in depth, or at least I do some depth on the different sins of my game and the design ideas and philosophies that went into making each of the sins as they are. All right, and as with all the other ones, the manipulated zodiac symbol for Wrathful cards is this. It is the Scorpio M with like the arrow, and when I looked at it, I was like, oh hey, I can make like a little devil guy out of it if I made these legs, because this. I actually didn't alter this really, like this little part here. I just looked at it, I was like, that looks like a devil tail. Make little legs, give them little wings. Yeah, and you can see that as with all the other ones. Right down here, if my camera will focus. Well, it's there. Just take my word for it. All right, and with Wrathful cards, pretty easy to come up with effects for, because it's like Wrathful, it's like you're seeking vengeance, it's like you're very mean, or at least like when you're in that state you can be very mean, very vengeful, very spiteful, hateful people, can be very wrathful. So it's like, it made sense to make Wrathful cards more so like a beatdown focus strategy, as well as like they have effects that like destroy cards, like muck them. A lot of Wrathful cards have effects based on, just totally getting rid of your opponent's cards, like not negating them, but just like destroying them. A lot of the cards have a payback kind of feature, because it makes sense, right? So it's like if you lose in a round, or like your opponent has like more coins than you or something, like some of the Wrathful cards can punish them for that, because it's like, it's like just like how like you might be resentful of your opponent for like destroying your stuff or like ruining your strategy. Wrathful cards will help you get back at them. So let's take a look and see what we got. Here's the familiar spirit for Wrathful cards. We'll talk about him later. Let's see, we got Can of Worms. Worms spelled like the like dragon type, and yeah, just Can of Worms. What a silly pun. This is the searcher for Wrathful cards. So yeah, if you want to get a Wrathful card to your hand, Can of Worms. Let's see, we got the Baby Zerker. He's a baby, and it's like if you lost the last round, this card's force gets doubled. So this would go up to 2,000. So 2,000 for a 4-bet. It's pretty good. That's really good, and this could totally ruin someone's strategy. Or if you lose, like you're only losing 4 coins, as opposed to like you'd usually need like 6 or 7 coins to get to a force that high. So that's pretty good. Let's see here what we got. We got the Golem. Let's see. All right. Let's see the Golem. This is one of those things I was talking about. How Wrathful cards can also just make things hard for other people just out of spite. Like so, the Golem's effect is this round the force of every non-automaton card becomes 0. So it's like the only thing. It's like you'd have to beat this thing with effects or like a stronger automaton card, and I don't actually think there is a stronger automaton card in this game right now than the Golem. So let's see, we got the Flash Angry Mob, one of my favorite card concepts, because they're an angry mob, but look at how coordinated they are. But I would say this would be a staple, because it's just you just muck any card you want. And also, this also has an effect like your opponent cannot raise a card that you like select to muck. So say like so say like all right, so like say like like my opponent has a raise face down, like something a card face down in their raise space or raise zone. Um, I can play this, target this, and muck it. Now normally, like cards like in this game, like if you were to like target a card for like an effect or whatever, your opponent can raise it at that point and like use the effect. However, with a Flash Angry Mob, I can select a card that's face down, and my opponent they cannot raise it. They can't raise it. It just gets mucked. It just goes. It just goes. It just gets out of here. They just get rid of it. They just stomp over it. They drive it out of town with their pitchforks and fire and awesome dance moves. Let's see. We got the Bodiless Horseman. This guy, if your opponent's summon has a force of 1,500 or more, then its force goes down to 0. So actually, so these two cards would tie with each other. Yeah. If they met in battle. Let's see. We got the original art of the Anarch Butterfly. Let's see. Was this? Yeah. Okay. So the effects are the same. So yeah, it was this is you just select one random card in your opponent's hand and muck it. Just just yeet it. Anarch Butterfly. I don't care about rules. Let's see. We got the Holstergeist. I really like this card. Let's see. Yeah. It's like. So like with Wrathful cards, like some of them get effects like if you have the least amount of coins in your stash, and I think I'm gonna have like envious cards that have that condition as well because it just makes sense for the kind of sin it is. It makes sense. Oh God, I'm gonna stop. All right. So anyway, so it says if this card's in your muck and you have the least amount of soul coins in your stash, you can remove this from play to muck every opposing. Raise and familiar spirit. My camera just do something weird? I bet it did. I'm leaving it in. I don't care. But I love the art for this and the concept behind this character because he was a enslaved man who was lynched. Was he enslaved? Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he was enslaved. So he was lynched. Then he came back. Due to a burning desire for revenge, for a burning desire for undead justice. He came, attacked the men who killed him. One of them being the sheriff, stole some guns, and he's got a draw quicker than the law. That's the Holstergeist, and he's smoking a cigarette because he was forced to farm tobacco. Now he's smoking it. Oh boy. Oh yeah. We got l'apple du vide. This comes from a French phrase called l'appel du vide, which means the call of the void. I don't know. I'm not French. I don't speak French. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this is fun on that. And this card is epitomizes like the gambling aspect of this game because if you so what you do is like you flip a coin, call it, and if you call it right, you get to muck every card controlled by by all of your opponents. You get to muck all of them, like all the ones that they have, like all their raises, their summons, their familiar spirits. Get rid of all of them. But if you call it wrong, that happens to you. You lose every card that you control and every card in your hand. So I would only say this would be not good. Probably. It's kind of like Time Wizard from Yu-Gi-Oh! If anyone's familiar with that, why do I bring this up? But it's like in this game, like you can play against 2, 3, 4 players. So like if you're playing against like 3 or 4 players, like 2 or 3 other players than you, this would be a much better gamble because that would be a huge advantage for you over all 3 of them. But you would screw yourself really if you lost. But I really like this card. I really like it's just an apple that looks evil. I love it. So we got the Daunting Haunting. Oh yeah, I want Wrathful cards to, a lot of them have effects like that activate in the muck, like same with the Holstergeist. Uh, and here we have the Daunting Haunting. Um, this is a sentient curse. Lore wise, doesn't actually, but as this card, if this card is in your muck, and you like don't have the most coins in your stash, like if you don't have the largest one, you can bet half of this card's bet 3 coins, and then you can make this card your summon from your muck, which would be very valuable because you're getting a 1700 force card for only a bet of 3 if it's in your muck and you are losing already. So yeah, I figured, yep, Daunting Haunting, pretty simple, pretty devastating, I think. Oh boy, this is one of my favorite arts and concepts. We got the Super Fightin' Combining Corpse. It's a giant combine. It's a giant undead Avenger created when a bunch of like zombies, or in this game they're called revenants, just stitched themselves together for some more undead justice. So you get this giant just fighting this giant robot. And look, he's even got his own rocket punch. Man, that was a really fun card to draw. Let's see, but yeah, it's like if you don't have the largest stash, you can remove from play any number of Wrathful cards from your muck. Which, I noticed there's a typo on it. Doesn't really show up on the camera, but it's there. And this makes me very angry that I have typos, but it's fine. Anyway, so this card's force becomes equal to the combined force of the cards removed by this card's effect. So like, yeah. So say like you're losing, right? And you can just drop this, remove these 2 cards, and then you have a card with a force of 3,400. Wait, did I? Oh boy, is that right? Yeah. All right. I can't math. What? I'm so tired, guys. Let's see. We got lapel. This is the new art. This is the new current artwork for Anarch butterflies. I like this one better. They have a guillotine. It's the same thing, just random card. Let's see. Holstergeist, Shoulder Devil. I think. Yep. I think that is all of them. All right. Let's talk about our familiar spirit. All right, so for Wrathful cards, the familiar spirit right now is the Shoulder Devil. And, like as with all the other familiar spirits, I wanted the familiar spirit, as with all the other sins, I want the familiar spirit to really showcase like what Wrathful cards are all about. Let's see, the Shoulder Devil, he's a little he's a little devil, just whispers in your ear. Let's see, at the start of each of your round, you can flip a coin, call it right. If you call it right, you can muck 1 card in an opponent's hand or on the board. So yeah, this is just a free +1 for you, free -1 for your opponent, or I guess all their -1s. Free +1 for you. If this card's your familiar spirit, so it's like each of your rounds you can if you call it right, you have a pretty good chance of just getting rid of some of your opponent's advantage, getting rid of some of their cards. So yeah, pretty useful, I think. Pretty decent. And with a bet of 5, that's not too much to ask, but he's also not very strong with 1,400 force, but yeah. And yeah, the Shoulder Devil, I just thought it'd be fun to have like the familiar spirit be like something that could ride on your shoulder. He's just small, and he represents the angry boys, the angry archetype. But anyway, I believe that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.